What's up everyone? I'm Elsa. My pronouns are she and her, and today we have a strengthening circuit series situation. It's about 20 minutes or so, and this is a progression off of another strengthening video. These variations on exercises are fine to be a little bit more challenging. So yeah, that is what this video is. It's just a little bit of a different version. So we are going to need for class a little loop resistance band of sorts. I have a couple of light weights. These are 4-pound dumbbells and a mat or something to lay on. You could use like a towel or a blanket or nothing. I just recommend having something like cushioned under your back. So I would go with mat. But let's get into it. So we are going to start with a deadlift variation. It's a Romanian deadlift, so we're not touching the floor between reps. So yeah, here we are. So my feet are about hip width apart. I have my 2 dumbbells. They are going to be flat and on my thighs. I'm going to move my mic out, flat on my thighs. Palms are going to be facing me. And this is a hinge. So I'm going to look forward. The goal here is to keep my back flat. I am not rounding my spine, unlocking my legs. And all we're gonna do is hinge forward at the hips, sending our hips back till we feel that big old stretch and standing back up. Hinging forward. Looking straight ahead to help prevent that rounding of spine. Sometimes when you look down, kind of just makes the whole thing round. I'm just hinging forward like that. We're doing 10 of these. Feeling that big stretch in the back of the hamstrings. You could do this with heavier weights. You could do it with lighter weights just to really get a feel for the movement. Hinging. We have that soft bend in our legs to help us, but we're not necessarily it's not a squat. Once we have done 10 of those, we are going to set the weights off to the side, and we are going to do a body weight squat. So for the squat, we are going to start with our feet I go a little bit wider than hip width apart. That is what feels best for my body. You can go hip width apart, shoulder width apart. Find a stance that works for you and feels good for you. But for the squat we're sitting in a chair trying to get parallel with the floor, trying to keep our chest upright, trying not to let our backs round, pressing back up through our feet, pressing against the ground. Keeping my hands at my chest for this. You can put them off to your side, on your hips, whatever feels good. 10 of these. And if 10 doesn't feel right for you, do more, do less, do what feels right for you. Once we've done 10 of those, I don't know why I'm snapping so much today. Once we've done 10 of those, we are going to we're actually gonna do this first. We're gonna do a pull apart. So for this, we're gonna use our resistance band. This is an isometric exercise, meaning we are going to hold for 30 seconds. But so I have slipped my hands through this resistance band. It is resting on my wrist. For this, you are just bringing your hands up to shoulder height, pulling against that resistance band, and just holding like this. My shoulders are down out of my ears. My core is engaged. I'm using my glutes so I don't arch my spine. slouch forward, all of that stuff. But it is a 30-second hold. We're gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1. Arms come out. Just 30 seconds. Making sure you're pulling against that band. Pulling those shoulders down out of your ears if you notice them start to creep up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Let it go. Our next exercise is going to take place on the ground. We are going to be on a mat or object of your choosing, and we are going to do a lying abduction. So laying on your side, starting with whichever side you would like to start with, resting your head on your arm, other hand is resting on the mat. Feet are in line with your hips. Pelvis is stable. Our goal is to not like rock back and forth or lessen that as best as we can. And all you're gonna do is lift your top foot a few inches and lower it. Lift, holding at the top for a second, lowering, or 2 seconds. Lift and lower, 10 of these. You'll feel it. Lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Once you do 10 on that side, I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the other side. Again, feet are in line with your hips, pelvis is stable, and then we lift a few inches, lower, 10 of these. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. All right, once we've done 10 of those, we are going to do an elevated plank hold from a little bit of a lower surface. So I would say like a couch or the armrest of a couch, maybe an ottoman, coffee table, a chair, something along those lines, like slightly lower than a counter or a wall. If a wall plank has been like your standard plank, then I would go to a counter and just see how it feels if you're comfortable moving to a counter, seeing how that feels, seeing how long you can hold it for, even if it's not, we're gonna do a 30-second hold, even if it's not 30 seconds, just like kind of gauging how that feels for you. If that's not something you wanna do, you can totally do it off of a wall. So we are gonna do a 30-second hold from our palms, yeah? Going into it in 3, 2, 1. Still, because you're on an elevated surface, it doesn't mean you can let yourself like pike like this. You're still acting like you're like about to do a push-up, right? So shoulders are being pulled down, glutes are engaged, so you can tuck your spine under and keep in that flat line. Core is engaged in that too. From your toes. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, letting it go. Breathe, shaking it out. And that was the circuit. We are gonna repeat it at least one more time together. And yeah, if this is all you have time for today, totally cool to just turn it off, totally fine. Do whatever you have time for and your body feels comfortable with and good with. And then if you want, take a sip of water. If you're gonna keep going, take a couple deep breaths. And we're getting back into it with our Romanian deadlifts. So I have both of my dumbbells in my hand, and we are gonna, how did I do this? And we are gonna do our deadlifts. So palms, again, are facing our bodies. Legs are about hip width apart, and knees are locked out, looking straight ahead, sending that booty back like you're hitting a button, and then standing up. Sending your booty back, allowing those arms to drop forward, coming back up. Just you only going until you start to feel that stretch. Ha. 10 of these. Back is nice and flat. Okay, perfect. Once we've done that, we are gonna go to our squats, setting the dumbbells down. Moving to our squats, finding a stance that feels good for you. Sending that booty back like you're sitting in a chair, trying to get as parallel to the ground as you can with your legs and standing up. Nice and controlled, it's not about speed. Once we've done 10 of those, we are moving to our band pull apart, or isometric version of it as is. Slipping that resistance band over your hands and onto your wrists. Remember, we are putting our hands straight out front. Starting in 3, in 2, in 1. Ha. Pulling against that band. Shoulders are down and out of our ears. We're not leaning back or forward. It's in a nice upright position. If it feels like you want to start leaning backwards or forward, remember to tuck that tail so you're pulling your hips under and engaging that core a little bit. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, letting go. Once we've done that, we are gonna come on down to the ground. And we are doing our lying abductions. So we're coming on our side. Resting our head on our arms. Other palm can press into the ground or just rest on your mat. Feet in line with hips. Pelvis is stable. And then we're just gonna lift a few inches, hold at the top for a couple seconds. Lower. Lifts. Lower. Lift. lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, 10 per side. Remembering to breathe. Once you have 10, coming around the other side. Feet are in line with hips. Pelvis is stable, and then we just lift, lower, lift, lower. Once we've done 10 of those, we are going to do our plank hold on an elevated surface, right? So we are going to come on up on our feet. Up on our feet on our elevated surface. If you found that the surface you used last time was not challenging you, you can either go for longer duration wise or pick a slightly lower surface or not. And if you felt that it was too challenging, you can either go for a shorter amount of time or onto a higher surface, your call, or you can leave it alone. So we're gonna get into our position. And again, if you make your base wider, so you spread your legs a little bit, that is going to make it a little bit less challenging, okay? And we are gonna drop into this in 3, in 2, and in 1. Core is engaged, shoulders are being pulled down out of your ears. It's just like you're about to do a push-up. Breathing, ha. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting it go. Just breathing, ha. You can shake out those shoulders, rolling them down and back. And letting it go, right? You can shake out your whole body if you want, stretch a little bit, but we are done. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very, very much for joining me today. There is one more video that has some progressions that I find a little bit more challenging than this. So up to you. If you want to try them out, try them out. If this felt good for you, let it feel good for you. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. I'll see you again next time.